Hello and welcome to Sociocast 20 with a wonderful and very insightful episode on mental health. Team Enactus Hansraj is back again with its second episode. This episode is not only for a layman who's trying to understand this industry, but for all the budding investors and architects trying to analyze this market. This industry has lost over 1 lakh crore during these times, and if you've guessed it, you're probably right. Today we have with us Ms. Surbhi Arora, Head of Research at one of the most prestigious organizations, Magic Bricks. She has previously worked as a Senior Associate Director at Colliers International. With more than 15 years of experience in real estate, she specializes in real estate economics and analytics with an in-depth knowledge of market dynamics across major markets in India. With uncertainties rising and questions popping in our heads, ma'am would be talking not only about the trends and pricing of real estate, but also when and how to invest. So before you all put on your investing shoes, I would like to introduce my co-host for this episode, Varda Jain, to take over the question and answer segment of this episode.
Thanks a lot, Prakshi. Moving on, listeners, we've prepared a special question answer segment for all of you, where we would ask wide ranging questions on real estate from ma'am. We hope it clarifies not only your doubts but also helps you to take informed decisions in future.
All right. So I'll start our podcast with a question I think everyone, including myself, is really curious to know about. Real estate sector was already undergoing a downturn over the past year and a half. So how has the current pandemic affected the $12 billion real estate economy?
Okay, so before going into details about how the current pandemic impacted the real estate sector, I think I would like to talk a little bit about the pre-COVID situation in real estate. Um, Real estate sector generally can be divided into three broad segments: residential, commercial, and industrial. The commercial and industrial real estate were actually doing very well in the last 3-4 years. And 2019 was a record year for commercial real estate, with about 50 million square feet office space was taken by various companies. The demand for industrial real estate was also growing at a high rate. And the residential real estate sector, which was undergoing a stagnation for last 3-4 years, was also started recovering before the pandemic. So now how COVID-19 has impacted. So COVID-19 has impacted almost, I think, all the sector across the world. And yes, real estate is one of them. The COVID-19 crisis has altered the overall construction activity, be it residential real estate or commercial real estate. In the month of March till May, work from home was a natural response for a lot of companies. Naturally, the overall demand for real estate sector has taken a momentary dip. The supply was restricted due to lockdown situation because no construction was happening. The prices, we have recently done a survey on prices, and the prices have also witnessed a 2 to 9% dip in various cities. Having said that, I think the real estate is a basic need of people. We require real estate for everything we do. In fact, what I believe that the pandemic has actually reinforced the concept of home ownership. In fact, when we did a property buyer sentiment survey for residential sector, about 67% of the people, that is a significant lot, were planning to buy a house within 3 to 6 months after the pandemic situation. Although people like to reduce the overall investment budget, but they want to buy a house. Similarly, a lot of companies started adopting work from home, but they could not deny the need of office for collaborative team efforts. And with the start of Unlock 1.0, the construction activities has started resuming, office have started opening with the new social distancing norm. So I think, yes, there was a momentary halt in activities in real estate sector, but the sector has started coming back to its own,
That's definitely true, ma'am. According to me, the lockdown has had a severe effect on this intensive industry, but I think it's all right and it's moving on. Now, as you said, the super trending work from home era. Where do you feel the commercial real estate business stands? Do you think it is possible to transform and maintain the commercial real estate in this situation?
Okay, so regarding work from home, I would say it is not a new phenomenon. Several companies across the world were adopting flexible workspaces to rationalize their real estate expenses. But at the same time, we need to understand that work from home doesn't necessarily be a sustainable solution for all type of companies. And we do not see demand for offices segment to shrink immediately, as most of the companies, generally it is a 3-year lease for a office space, so they have to honor their existing long-term contracts. Similarly, whatever the usable area of each employee is likely to increase now, because there is you have to follow a social distancing norm.
Yeah.
So companies are likely to optimize the occupied floor space to ensure social distancing.
That's
Um,
absolutely true. Also, if we are talking about the commercial real estate, I wanted to ask about the residential development you think will grow in future. Will we see a change in graph in favor of low housing income, considering the current economic situation of our country? Or will luxury housing attract more people as they tend to stay back at their homes?
so the market is likely to remain end user driven, at least in the medium term, I would say. If we talk about private development in residential sector, it is dominated by MIG segment for quite some time. But the infrastructure status to affordable housing and government agenda of housing for all has resulted that many developers ventured into low income affordable housing in past couple of years. So most of this development is happening in peripheral area of metro cities, as land cost is higher in the central location, and it doesn't make sense to make affordable housing in these locations. So connectivity, I think, will remain a major factor in driving demand. So affordable project in peripheral areas that have rail, road, metro connectivity with the main city will see the maximum demand. Also, mid-segment housing near economic hubs which support walk-to-work concept will remain in high demand for rental properties, PGs, co-living spaces. In my opinion, we can also see a uptick in NRI investment, which may drive demand for luxury housing to some extent. Overall, low-income segment would see a greater uptick, while luxury housing would also garner some demand in the long run as the scenario improves.
Yeah.
Also, what I think that interest rates are all-time low right now, and the government has extended the benefit under credit-linked subsidy scheme that would definitely assist first-time home buyers and encourage them to go ahead with the purchasing decisions. But developers definitely have to keep a patience before the buying cycle kick starts again.
Yeah, so I think many of us would agree to that, and I'm sure those who don't would have had a fair chance to consider the alternative after listening to your insightful opinion. So let's move on to the next question. It's about the aspirants who want to study architecture. How, in your opinion, has the playing field changed for the aspirants who want to study architecture and venture into this industry?
Okay, so real estate sector come as a basic need of human being, and so the real estate demand is here to stay in the long term. Uh, I would say preference of people may change in terms of type of homes they want to live in, type of offices they want to work in, types of mall they want to go. But at the same time, the demand of real estate will be there, right? So the architecture field is going to be more challenging, but definitely I think it will be more exciting also. It's a very interesting career, and with these new changes, I believe there will be more demand for architects. Because of this COVID, it has necessitated need of transformation in design layout. It may also bring a shift in the architectural field, such as there will be increased focus on emergency healthcare infrastructure, more modular construction will be required in the near future. So I think if you are passionate about architecture, then definitely it's a field to go for. And there is still a lot of experiment needed in Indian market in terms of architecture. So it's a good sector, people.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Aspiring students of this field surely will have more clarity after listening to you. And they would definitely take this as an opportunity, as you say, that this time needs innovation and more innovative brains. Okay. So while we have discussed the impacts of numerous sections of this society, of this industry, a major chunk is driven by digital housing mediums, housing apps and online sites like Magic Bricks, Housing.com, Ghardeko.com. Ma'am, you being the part of one such prestigious online real estate platform, how do you think such platforms will evolve in future considering the current situation as most of the businesses are now going online? So, do you think that the future of real estate are such online real estate platforms?
Okay, so what I feel that the role of online platforms like Magic Bricks will definitely going to be increased in the near future. And what I feel that the current pandemic is likely to result in faster adoption of digital real estate platform or any kind of digital platforms, because right now it is a need of an hour to adopt to digital platforms. As the market increasingly becoming end user driven, maximum emphasis I think would be given to provide end to end digital solution to consumers. And we at Magic Bricks strongly believe that it is imperative to offer holistic solution to consumers. We are focusing on providing more and more services to ease buyer journey. In the coming years, what I believe that 3D visualization, augmented and virtual reality, online site visits, they will become a reality. And a lot of platforms have already started investing in these technologies. Um, Ma'am, if I talk about the Magic Bricks, so we have already, in a number one position in this sector, and we are garnering a lot of consumer traffic by acting as a key convenience and enabler. Um, and after witnessing an understandable dip in the consumer queries post the nationwide lockdown, we have seen renewed buyer interest as the lockdown restriction were eased in May 2020. And over the past month, we have certainly seen a surge in consumer base. So it is definitely signifying some green shoots for real estate.
Yeah. So, ma'am, your unique experience and insights are truly enlightening. I mean, no one could have explained this in a simpler manner. Thank you so much. My next question is, what are your suggestions for the builders and construction contractors, like on the delay of labors and delay of supplies of construction material and the severely reduced access to transport?
So in the current scenario, where majority of the workers in the construction sector have chosen to return to their hometown, it has become increasingly difficult for developers to continue with the construction in their projects. And if I talk about some numbers, then as per National Real Estate Development Council, NARDECO, around 75 to 80% of the people employed in the construction industry have left for their hometowns. Also, developers are facing the problem of training in case they try to hire some local from the local areas. um, I think to ensure safety of laborers at work site, a set of specified SOPs are already in place for developers. For example, mandatory thermal scanning, providing face covers, hand wash, sanitizers, and disinfection of construction sites, etc. But in my opinion, developers are doing their bit, and even the government is doing it their bit by educating people again and again. I think workers also need to be more aware of their personal hygiene. They need to follow the distancing norm strictly. So I think this is my advice, that everybody should take this pandemic situation seriously and follow the distancing norm.
Yeah, I completely agree. Even the people at industries or living at their homes, they all need to follow these conditions really strictly and not take this pandemic as lightly as some are taken. So, I wanted to ask, in your opinion, how has COVID-19 made an impact on the livelihood of the builders?
Okay, so builder actually now have now facing twin challenges actually. First, how to revive demand, and second, how to gradually restart the construction activities to complete under construction projects on time. If I talk about supply side, lot of state RERAs, RERA is Real Estate Regulatory Authorities, have offered a respite to the developers by providing another 6 to 9 month moratorium to finish the projects, and interest rates are also all time low to support the liquidity situation of developers. But due to scarcity of labor and with social distancing norm in place, I think developers may find it difficult to undertake construction in full swing like pre-COVID times. Beside this, the input cost is also rising because of disrupt supply chain, and they also need to follow new norms of sanitization at their construction sites, like providing hand sanitizer, PPE kits, etc. So it is going to increase the cost. If I talk about demand side, buyers are looking for reduction in budget in the wake of growing job uncertainties. So it will be challenging for developers to encourage potential home buyers to trigger demand. Uh, at the same time, I would like to add that developers with good track record and liquidity position are better placed to deal with this situation. Small developers with weak cash flow may find it difficult to finish their ongoing projects on time. Therefore, we might see some consolidation taking place in the sector. Regarding the prices, I think prices have already rationalized in last 3-4 years, and they have not increased much in last 3-4 years. Thus, given the rising input cost, I don't see any drastic drop in prices. And also, the prices depend on locality to locality. So, most of the locality which are near employment hub, which have good connectivity, infrastructure, I don't see any price drop in near future for those localities.
That was really insightful, ma'am. So, lastly, I would ask to sum up the entire conversation in this question. How do you see construction workers, daily wage laborers, contractors, investors, and this industry as a whole moving into a post COVID future?
So, what I believe that COVID is likely to have some long-lasting changes for the real estate sector. Although the sector is likely to suffer by delay in projects, liquidity issue in the short term, but I feel it will also bring some of the positive changes that should happen, such as we expect better working condition for laborers with necessary SOPs in place. So most of the developers are now following those SOPs. We can also expect higher level of digitization and transparency in the real estate services. We can expect an increased flexibility in our workspaces. Uh, so to sum up, with all the stakeholders trying their level best to revive the sector, I think the sector will see some green shoots very soon.
So I think it's a good news for all the real estate investors, builders, and everyone that is linked to this industry. I think, according to ma'am, there's going to be a lightening hope for this industry in the near future. So, with this, we come to an end of this session. I, Varda Jain, on behalf of entire Enactus community at Enactus, express my immense gratitude for taking the time to share your knowledge with us. I am sure each and every one of us has taken away numerous insights and will leave with a better equipped knowledge base to battle this pandemic together. Ma'am, do you have any closing comments for our audience?
I think that's about it, Varda, and thank you very much for inviting me. Uh,
We are glad
I
to have
think
you, ma'am.
we all will revive from this current situation. and we should follow that social distancing norm as of now. And that's all. That's it.
Thank you, ma'am and Varda, for this wonderful segment. With this podcast coming to an end, we hope to have created some sort of clarity. Till then, keep safe and stay tuned for our next episode. Warm regards from Team Enactus Hansraj.